Good evening. Are you sitting uncomfortably? Then I'll begin. Good evening and welcome to the 2010 Skoll World Forum. My name is Colin Mayer. I'm Dean of the Side Business School, and it's my very great pleasure to welcome you this evening to this 7th World Forum. This is a remarkable time to be holding the forum. Since we last met a year ago, there have been profound shifts in world opinion. 3, I think, are of particular relevance. The first is an inherent and deep-rooted skepticism in the efficiency of markets. Until 18 months ago, we trusted financial markets to lie at the apex of a world economic order that financed, incentivized, and allocated the world's resources efficiently. No more. There is now a deep-rooted skepticism that financial markets price financial assets, allocate resources, or incentivize participants in markets appropriately. Secondly, there's been a fundamental rejection of the mono-valued culture that previously put commercial and economic considerations ahead of all others. We're now no longer willing to see a world that places profit above people, efficiency above ethics, and cost-cutting above caring. Instead, a more complex and subtle world is emerging that puts the achievements of such social goals as the alleviation of deprivation, poverty, exclusion, and environmental degradation ahead of commercial considerations. Customer and community value are slowly but surely replacing shareholder value as the dominant paradigm. Third, there is a widely held belief that our institutions and organizations have failed us in the public, the regulatory, as well as the private sector. They are now viewed as being self-serving, motivated by greed and self-interest. In the case of commercial and financial organizations, they've even failed to uphold the interests of their shareholders, let alone a wider set of stakeholders, such as their customers, employees, and communities. We no longer trust them to do what they are supposed to do, let alone what we would really like them to do. The backdrop to the 2010 Skoll World Forum is therefore a world which is deeply skeptical about markets, in particular financial markets, rejects the previous dominance of shareholder over customer, employee, and social values, and does not trust our institutions or the people who lead them to be enlightened beyond their own self-interest. This is the movement that is gaining momentum around the world. It makes the emergence of new organizations and institutional forms that address social issues of particular relevance. Those institutions should work with rather than against markets and other organizations, but should appreciate their limitations as well as contributions. This is the movement that is the backdrop to this year's forum, and it's one that lends particular poignancy and importance to its deliberations. We are riding with a wave that is engulfing the world's political agenda and is adding force to what we are all seeking to achieve. Never has the agenda of the Skoll World Forum been more significant or relevant, and never has the work that you are undertaking been more sought after. As a business school situated in the heart of a major university, we firmly embrace these goals. We place immense importance on the social aspects of business and believe that business and new enterprise should be playing a central role in addressing social and environmental problems, not contributing to them. The reason why the Skoll Center for Social Entrepreneurship is based in the Side Business School is that its agenda is our agenda. We want to be a business school that makes a substantial contribution to the education of social entrepreneurs. Even more significantly, we want the ethos and values of social entrepreneurs to pervade all that we do as academic researchers, educators, and students. The Skoll Centre finances 5 scholars each year on the MBA programme, and what a body of students it has produced. These people have gone on to make a substantial contribution to the communities and organisations in which they work. They have created enterprises that are making a real difference. Even more than that, their interest and enthusiasm pervades each of the MBA classes that they are a part of. Students who previously have not even contemplated working in the social arena have been heavily influenced by these remarkable scholars. In the Side Business School, our social focus comes from not just teaching and researching it, but because we and our students do it. Jeff, Sally, and all the other members of the Skoll Foundation, I salute you for what you have done and achieved, and the remarkable difference that you've made in developing a new breed of young leaders. And we thank you for having made that possible here at Oxford. And Pamela Hartigan. And Pamela, I would like to pay tribute to the tremendous work that you've done in making the Skoll Centre such an integral part of what the Side Business School stands for. Now to the forum. Now to the forum, and what a treat we're about to experience. Vusi Mahlasela is, of course, a legend in his time as a composer, poet, guitarist, percussionist, as well as performer. His songs were an inspiration to the anti-apartheid movement, culminating in his performance in President Mandela's inauguration in 1994. And since then, he's continued to disseminate a universal message of the human struggle for freedom. He is now an ambassador to Nelson Mandela's 46664 Foundation, a campaign to help raise global awareness of AIDS and HIV, and in June, he will perform in the kickoff concert of the World Cup in Orlando Stadium in Soweto. As the novelist Nadim Ghodema said, Vusi Mahlasela sings as a bird does, in total response to being alive. It's a tremendous pleasure and privilege to have you with us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, Vusi Mahlasela.